Today I want to talk a little bit about the strawberries and how I got them to proliferate right here. So if you want to hear about that, stay tuned. I just had them in the pot and I did eventually separate them because they looked like they were struggling because they needed more room. So I separated them into pots and they didn't do very well because I used, the soil that I used wasn't very good or rich in nutrients. And at that time I didn't have any extra money to get fertilizer because I was really investing in getting a lot of perennials, and a lot of plants for the first year garden. I went ahead and planted these after a little while because they still weren't looking very good. And I didn't know if it would work here because, like, this is my garage, and then I've got a porch over here. So, and then there's like the tree line, if you see, so we're really, and then that's my house. So we're really not getting a whole lot of sun. And so I was worried, but this was a good spot because, if you've watched any of my other videos, this is a really steep hill on after that line there, it drops. So, so I really wanted something that was going to stay, so it's not going to move here. So I'm trying to plant a lot of perennials. There are some annuals, for those of you who have watched my other tour. There are definitely some annuals here, but I try to stick to mostly perennials. But so I wanted to put some perennials here, and I knew strawberries were perennials, but I was a little bit concerned about the lighting. Everyone had told me that that I researched, it was like 6 to 10 hours of direct sunlight, and I really don't think they get 6 to 10 hours of direct sunlight. You can see right now, it's midday, and it's still getting sunlight, but it's not getting direct sunlight. It's only indirect because the sun, I can't even see the sun. It is cloudy, so that's another reason why I can't see the sun. Let me get a little bit closer so you can get a better shot. Down there, it looks like there's cat food, but that was just my beer traps for when the slugs were really bad because they were eating my strawberries. I didn't like that. So I planted, I'm not sure, not all of them made it. Not all of the 7. I think I planted 4 plants, 3 or 4. And so this is what has come of them. I did pick off all of the strawberries last year to kind of just let them establish roots. But these 2 I had planted, or these 3 I had planted last year. This one, it was in a pot until this spring. So I'm kind of letting it do its thing. They are sending out runners. I don't know if you can see. Let me get you closer. These are runners, and this one I've already buried in the ground, which I can show you how to do that in just a minute. It's really easy. If you don't have mulch, it will naturally do that underneath the ground. But I do have mulch, so it's kind of laying on top. I'm going to try not to step on my baby kale plants that are right there. And then I've got a baby tomato, which I don't know if that'll do anything or not. But so we pull the grass because we don't need grass anymore here. This used to be just a lawn. They did have a few plants, but not very many. Okay, so I hope you can see that. This one is almost buried. So I try to bury the stem too. I don't know if that's what you have to do, but I think it's prettier because it's like a whole new plant. You don't even know that it's connected to anything. Okay, so that's covered up. Now this is the important part, if I can get a good shot. So when you're digging here, this needs to be touching the earth. And so I do like to kind of dig, make sure there's no extra wood there. So when that digs down, it will actually root. Okay, so And then I don't quite cover it all the way up. That's as far as I will go. And then this is one I did just the other day, and you can see it is already forming some flowers to start a new plant. And then this one, it actually sent this one out after as well. If you can see that, it's a little one. I don't know why it's not focusing. But there's more. I'll be doing that with all of them as time goes by, to kind of, because I really want this whole area to be strawberry. I want them to go all the way down, so that, sorry, I had you crooked. So I want it to go all the way down, so that way it can really, like, it can hold the ground. It can be a good ground cover. The other thing is that these are really tall. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get down in there. Most strawberries are like very close to the ground. These are actually really tall, and I think that that is because of the sun, how little sun they're getting. So that's an interesting adaptation, but I kind of like it because you see the strawberries right there are just like popping up instead of laying on the ground, which I think it will be good for us. We don't really have bird pressures because we have so many cats, but we do have a lot of slug pressures. So for us, having them up in the air is actually more beneficial. I'm not as concerned about birds getting them as slugs. So see, there's more right there. I hope this was a beneficial video. It's always good talking to you guys. If you guys have any tips or tricks or anything on strawberries, leave it down in the comments. Everybody else would love to see that, I'm sure, and I'd love more tips about anything. I am a new gardener. I mean, I've been gardening for about 4 or 5 years, but it's been a progression. My husband joked that I always had a brown thumb before, and it's turning green. So it's still a work in progress. I still kill a lot of plants. I think I pruned the raspberry too early, and it's really struggling now. But I was trying to save my amaranth, and sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to sacrifice one plant's harvest for another. And our family likes raspberries, but they're not like our favorite. And honestly, raspberries, the amount that you get from one bush that we will get this year is really not that big. Next year it will probably produce more. But I did want it to be lower to this year so I could focus on those amaranth. But that's a side note. I just wanted to let you know that I'm not perfect. I do make mistakes. I'm still learning. I'm still problem solving. Okay, sorry. There was a really loud car that started up. Let me know what your guys what you're doing. If you guys have an Instagram, I'd love to see what you guys are doing. I'm always watching other people's videos and their Instagrams and trying to see what else I could do in my garden differently next year. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks.